What are your feelings in regards to the latest media news release that 7 killer whales in the southern pods have disappeared, and a lot of them were emaciated?
Well, the killer whale stocks, the southern resident killer whale stocks in BC, Washington State, are teetering on the edge. They literally are. We could lose these whales very soon if action isn't taken to protect their habitat and to start addressing the threats to their primary food sources, among those being salmon. So we need, as a society, we need to take this extremely seriously. And, there are broad threats like climate change that are affecting ocean regimes in ways we don't even fully understand yet. Those threats they're global in nature, and they're going to take us a long time to reverse or to seriously tackle, which means that we should be placing a real priority on the threats that we are able to act on now. One of those would be open net cage aquaculture in our coastal waters, which is threatening the survival of the wild salmon that are a keystone species for the survival of our orca whales.
What about the fact that the whales have got a high concentration of toxins in their blubber, and by being emaciated, they're starting to run those toxins back into their systems?
As the whales get increasingly emaciated and there's a lack of available salmon for them to eat, they're going to start drawing on their own fat reserves. And because of their exposure to fire retardants and PCBs and all the toxic chemicals that we as a society have been dumping into their oceans for decades, when they draw on that fat, they are going to be drawing on the concentrations of toxins that are in their body fat, which in turn is going to make the whales even more vulnerable, even less likely to survive. It's a very serious situation they're facing right now.
If the public doesn't want to see the killer whales and the salmon disappear, what can they do?
Well, for starters, they can stop buying farm salmon. They can tell their retailers and restaurateurs, don't carry this product until the industry cleans up its act, until the industry moves into closed, contained systems that put an impermeable barrier between the farm fish and the wild fish. People can educate themselves. Oftentimes, if you're away from the coast, you may not know an awful lot about salmon. If you see salmon in your grocery store and it says fresh Atlantic, it's farmed. There are no commercially viable wild Atlantic salmon fisheries. If it says Atlantic, it's a farmed fish. You shouldn't be buying it, and you should be encouraging your grocery store manager not to sell the product and to ask his supplier to move the industry into closed containment systems and to clean up their act.
What about voting? Is a vote for the wrong party a nail in the coffin of the killer whales?
Well, I think as voters, it's each of our responsibilities to ask all of the candidates in our ridings where they stand on this issue. Not only what their party's policy is, but what are they going to do to address the situation, and when are they going to take action? We've heard a lot of promises for a lot of years, but nothing is being done. So key questions to ask candidates in your riding: where do you stand, and what are you going to do about it, and when are you going to act?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.